Today we will talk about composite figures and we will calculate area of a composite figures. So this shape right here is a composite figure, is a figure that can be separated into smaller regions that are basic figures like triangles, rectangles, circles, trapezoids. So for example, if I draw a line, okay, I'm making a dashed line right here. Now I can split this composite figure into two different shapes. This one I can recognize it's a rectangle, and shape number 2 will be a trapezoid. So I'll label number 1 for a rectangle and number 2 trapezoid. Now to calculate area of the composite figure, I need to calculate separate areas of each region and then add them together. So let's start with area 1. Area 1 is a rectangle. Area of a rectangle is length times width. Okay, so length is 23 centimeters and width is 12. So I'll substitute that. So I get 23 times 12. When you multiply these together, you should get 276. I will not worry about units just yet. Now we're going to focus on area of this trapezoid, area 2. Okay, area of a trapezoid is 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. Okay, so base 1 would be, for example, 15. Base 2 would be 23, but you could flip them. Now, height is not really given in this trapezoid. This would be your height, okay? So to calculate this, we know that the composite figure from top to the bottom is 18 centimeters, and then this section right here is 12. So if you subtract 18 minus 12, it will give you 6, which will give you the same value as the height of this trapezoid. So that is 6. So now let's go ahead and substitute. I have 1/2. Height is 6. Base 1, 15. Plus base 2, it would be 23, because it's the same as the top length of the rectangle. So 23. When you simplify all this, you should get 114. Okay, so we've calculated two separate areas of the two separate regions. Now to get area of this composite figure, we add them together. So area equals area 1 plus area 2. Area 1 is 276, 276, plus area 2 is 114. Okay, when you add these two together, you should get 390. Now, in the final answer, you need to include your units. Our units were centimeters, so we get centimeters, but because we're talking about area, we need to have centimeters squared. Our units need to be squared. So that's number 1. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at second example. So here is your second composite figure. Okay, and again, if you look at this figure right here, it doesn't really look like any figure that we know, but you can split this figure into smaller regions, as many regions as you want. So for example, I'm starting to see a rectangle here, so I will go ahead and isolate that region. That's going to be section 1. Okay, then on the left side right here, I see a triangle. So here is a triangle, that's going to be region 2. And then what's left is a semicircle, and I'm going to call it a region 3. So now let's go ahead and find 3 separate areas. Area of a rectangle, so area 1. Area of a rectangle is, again, length times width. Length is 17, width is 9. So we get 17 times 9. When you simplify this, you should get 153. 153. So that's area 1. Area 2 is a triangle. So area 2 is, area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay, so base is right here and height is right here. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at height first, because I feel like it's maybe a little bit easier to see. This would be your height. Now, we know that the length of the rectangle is 17, and this part right here is 7. So if you subtract 17 minus 7, that will give you 10, which is the height of this triangle. So height is 10. Now base would be right in here. Notice that this base is the same as a radius of this semicircle. Now, this part right here, it's also a radius, and that's going to be the same as the top width of the rectangle, which is 9. So if this radius is 9, well, this radius, we're talking about the same semicircle, it's gotta be the same. Okay, so it's gotta be 9 as well. So now we know everything we need to find the area of this triangle, so let's substitute. We have 1/2, base is 9, and then height was 10. When you simplify, you should get 45. Okay, and then last area is area of this semicircle. So area 3. Now, area of a full circle is pi r squared. But if we want to look for half of the circle, we need to multiply this times 1/2. Multiplying times 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. Okay, so a full circle divided by 2 will give you a semicircle or half circle. So then let's go ahead and plug in. We get 1/2 pi, and then the radius is 9. We know this from here, and also that's going to be another radius 9. Okay, so 9 squared. When you simplify all this, you should get 127.23. And then to find the area of this whole composite figure, we need to add all 3 areas together. Area of a rectangle, triangle, and then semicircle. Okay, so area equals area 1 plus area 2 plus area 3. And then let's substitute. Area 1 was 153. So 153 plus area 2 was 45. 45 plus area 3, the semicircle, is 127.23. When you add all these areas together, you should get 325.23. And then again, because we're talking about area, our units have to be squared. And our units in this case were feet. So feet squared. And that's your final answer.